As Ron said, I'm Daryl Frank. I'm from Saldy, which is just north of Regina. I operate a 4,400-acre grain farm just on the edge of the Capel Valley. My farming career, I guess, started from a young age, just like probably everybody else. When they started farming, it's something you just dream of doing. After I graduated high school, I went and took ag mechanics degree from SciAst. And once I returned back home to the farm, I worked at the local farm dealership for about 4 years. And it gave me a great experience being around the farm and, kind of learning. My boss was understanding enough to give me time off during seeding and harvest to do those things with my dad, to learn the ins and outs of the business, I guess. In 2001, I quit the job, I guess, and began farming full-time with my dad. And we were farming about 2,200 acres at that time. In 2005, Dad ran into some health issues, and so all of a sudden, it was in the springtime, I was thrown into the fire, and I guess had to run the whole farm on my own. And it was a good learning experience. It helped that Dad had always trusted me to learn on my own how to run and operate everything and to make decisions on my own. So after that experience, I expanded the acres to the farm to 3,700, and in 2008, I expanded it to 4,400 acres, which is where we sit now. I currently employ one full-time hired man and try and find some help whenever I can or where I can for seeding and harvest. I'm fortunate to have my uncle who retired from farming. He kept his combine and still helps out with our harvest. I just pay him as a custom harvester and works terrific. In 2008, we all started to work towards incorporation. Dad still had a lot of the shares, or most of the shares, kind of in the farm. We were kind of farming half and half, I guess, splitting costs and machinery and that type of thing. So we worked out the partnership agreement where I could buy out all of Dad's equity, I guess, in the farm, and then rent his land back from him. And it's worked really well. I think Dave might know better exactly when I'll be incorporated, or that's where advisors are nice. Sometimes you just let them do their thing and keep out of their business. So this year we are expanding to over 6,000 acres. I rented another farm, actually north of Kelleher, 125 kilometers from my farm. Should be another interesting learning experience. This is I just threw this together pretty quick, so this is actually part of my speech from Germany too. So I try and set short, medium, and long-term goals. My ideas and goals seem to change quickly. That's what it seemed like a good idea one day may not be so good the next. I would say that my main goal is that I always have the ability to adopt and change, whether that is keeping up with the latest technology, following the constantly changing world markets, or being informed on the use of crop inputs, or improving managerial practices. Another thing is, like, you're always looking to expand, I guess, too, and what I'm going with this year, but at the same time, that's one of the things about expanding is you're never too sure how fast you can expand due to managerial practices or capital for that. It takes money to take on those extra acres, so you're worried about getting that capital in place to grow your farm. I think another great way to expand my business is open up to new ideas. I have a position on the board of directors of our Provincial Young Farmers Group and sit on the Youth Advisory Committee for the government. Surrounding yourself with the right people, I think, is key to probably running any business, I guess. If you're not open to new ideas and making changes, you're going to get left in the dust, basically, especially in farming. Everything seems to be changing so fast. What you're doing 5 years ago now, it's just everything's changed so rapidly. I think some of the things that Ron want to talk about is future concerns. Labor is definitely a major concern on our farm. I'm lucky to have one really good full-time employee, and right now I'm just trying to find another part-time employee, but good help's hard to find, and I guess it's a constant struggle. Where the market's headed, what should a guy be growing, that type of thing. Cost of production versus the return on investment. Where's the price of inputs going? And then how do I manage all those problems? And that's what causes the sleepless nights. And that's where advisors and people involved in the industry, just talking with other farmers and agrologists or anybody else, trying to keep myself the most up to date. Another thing would be risk management. You're throwing all this money into the ground. At the end of the day, if there's a crop failure, what would happen is are there proper things in place to make sure that I'm not out in the street eating bread and water or something. So I think that's about it. Closing comments and future of the industry. Ron asked that. I think it looks positive. If I didn't think it was, I wouldn't be in the business. So thank you.